So let's go ahead and get started. We're going to take a nice big old breath. And I want you to think that you're taking a breath as if there's an egg in the back of your throat. So that's the shape that you want to imagine. There's an egg back here, and you're going to be like, and I want you to inhale into that space. So you're going to go. Again. The next thing I want you to do, fill your rib cage. When you take in that breath with that nice oval space, I want you to take in the breath and feel that rib cage expand. And even you, so we can do rib cage, or you can, if you feel like you can, like even in the back, because you want to feel all of this open up. Think about angels' wings expanding. Ready? Go. Again. Again. Good. Now, what do you feel? Yes, I like it. You feel wings. What else?
And wings.
So we're feeling an expansion,
Yes.
right?
Yes.
Now the goal is throughout the phrases to actually keep that feeling open. So when you're taking the breath and you engage on that place, this should still stay open. And it should feel like it's actually expanding through. So what happens is in your lower abdominal core, you're also what I call the inner pool. It's also pulling in to keep your wings consistently expanding. All right? That's what we're going to be doing throughout this entire thing. Great? So let's do it one more time. And I want you to go, how can I do it? Let me think. I'm going to say, okay, so we're going to suck in through a straw or through our imaginary straws. We're going to suck in. We're going to feel the wings expand. And you're going to say all the way out. You're going to do, but feel like for 15 seconds. We're going to go for that. I don't care. I'm going to challenge you. For 15 seconds, go. Feel like your wings are expanding. Feel the inner pool. All right? Let's try it. Ready, go. Breathe in. And go. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15. Oh, some of y'all can still go. Okay. That's exactly what you want to happen. I always give this example. I had a coaching with a teacher at a very noted conservatory in New York. Because I was like, I'm going there for my master's, and everybody said go to her. Well, when I had my trial lesson, I realized that she was actually really crazy. Didn't know what she was talking about. I was like, ma'am, you want me to do what? Like all the things I just told you to do, expanding rib cage, staying erect, and all of these things. She was like, oh, don't worry about expanding your rib cage. Don't worry about, all of that. Your posture's too tall. I was like, you're nuts. But one of the things she said to me that has stayed with me since then is that, when you were born singing. If you go to any infant ward in a hospital, and you see all the babies in the bassinets and all the incubators and everything, they are laid out and they're just on their backs and they are crying and wailing. But what do you notice about their bodies? That rib cage is expanded. That abdominal core is engaged. They can go, and all they have is space. All they have is space to just till kingdom come. And it's like, okay, this is nice. They look cute. That's going home with somebody. And they got to deal with that. Now, but the thing is, when they go home, what happens is your nature was one way, your nurture is another. Be quiet, sit still. Can you hold back? Oh, maybe the baby is tall, so you're trying to, duck to get between spaces. Or, they grow up to be tall, so they're ducking and all of that. Oh, maybe they're short, so they want to feel like they're taller, so the posture they're doing all sorts of things. They tell you in church and school to sit still, stand in straight lines, and it throws everything off. And so when we come to singing to get back to your nature. And so that your singing default becomes like your nurture. It becomes what you do automatically. So when you take in the breath to sing, at least, that's your automatic posture. Your automatic posture is open, wings, expand, support. Oh, we're good. We're just going. We're just going. This is what I know. It may not be like that all the time, but we're going to work towards that being our default. So let's do a quick warm up. One more time. Now, the other thing I want to say as we go into this, do not be afraid to vibrate. What do I mean by that? Not be afraid to let the voice naturally want to wiggle, naturally want to, even if it wobbles. That means the muscles are doing something and getting used to it. So, I don't care if it does that. Okay. Do it. Okay? Because that is all going to mean something when we start the actual piece. Good. Yes. I love what you're doing because you're actually putting that whole motion into your body. I wanted to take a moment because she's like, all of that is good. Everything has to, the entire mechanism is working. So if you gotta, because I even have students do it. I'm not gonna make y'all do it. I should, but I'm not. Usually I have everybody in the sumo wrestler stance. And if you need to do that, go ahead. But they are in this stance and that opens everything out. And if that's what you feel like you want to do, then do it. I'm saying it's a suggestion.
We've never done that before.
Oh, sounds like we're in alignment. Now, I think what I was saying before when we had our Zoom call, this is, yes, there's performance practice and all of that, but I think much of this is not necessarily it's not primarily about singing it right. It's about understanding. Whether or not you sing it, we all read things, we all study things that may not be what we actually do ever in life, but we have knowledge of it, right? And so that's really the most important thing. Whether you actually sing it and want to become proficient in the style and study it, the thing about it is acknowledging the work, acknowledging this experience and these experiences and this music as you would anybody else. If you're going to do it for Mozart, do it for Bach. Do it for Hall Johnson, do it for Mr. Burley, do it for Miss Price, do it for Miss Bonds. I could go on. And Miss Zenobia Powell Perry, a name that's never brought up. Do it for Nora Holtz. Like there's all these. Shirley Graham Du Bois, who was Du Bois rather, who was W.E.B. Du Bois's wife, was a whole composer, activist, wrote operas, like fierce down. We don't even talk about these people, right? So if we're going to do it, at least have knowledge of it so that you can also be empowered to guide other people. That's a part of that allyship. That's a part of that accomplished work. So I'm looking at the score, and I'm just going to read what Mr. Johnson says about his stuff. As I said on our Zoom call too, Mr. Johnson is very much like, I have it done like this for a reason. Follow what I say. Okay? Don't deviate from it. That's disrespectful, and if you want to do everybody else right, these are my rules. Or not just my rules, but the rules of this engagement, the rules of this style. So this is what he says. Note, observe carefully the differences in mood of the three stanzas. In the slow, free treatment of the first verse, cut the word buked very short with the sound of T. Treat the word about in the last line the same way, but go on immediately without taking a fresh breath. Guard against and dive. So like instead of I've been buked and dive, and I've. It should be and I've. So it's not, so we still are doing somewhat of dialect, but he's so learned. He was still going to have I've. It wasn't I've been buked, but I've been buked and I've been scorned. Yes, okay, all of that. That's the first treatment. Let's just do that. Cool? Do, 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 do. So, I've been buked and I've been scorned. Remember driving that truck? Yes. So, and those who have yes, it's a swell on it. So, scorn, yes. Now, with the soprano line, I've been buked and I've been scorned. And so again, the stopping is still singing. Even when you're taking a breath, it's still singing. Okay? One more time. Do, 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 I've. Ready, 2, 3.
I've been buked and I've been scorned. Yes,
You got to be with me though.
Sorry.
Now the other thing is, getting a little bit of jazz singer,
Nope.
just a little bit. Always keep the vowel, all of those vowels, the vowel integrity is important. So, I've been buked. All of that should feel all the time. And O are inside. That is going to be that and O are your primary vowels in the back space, in the front space, all the way in through. And then you put all the rest of the vowels and consonants inside of that. Okay? That makes sense? Ready? 2, 3.
I've been buked and I've been scorned. Yes, I've been buked and I've been scorned.
Yeah, keep the vowel. Drive the truck. So you never drive and going this way. And if you do, I'm scared to ever get in the car with you. We will not be doing that. So we'll do it. Ready to forward this way.
Children.
Good. Now let's add the alto.
That's a hard one to pick.
It is really hard. Children. Ready, 2, 3, and
Children.
good. Children. Now the thing is, you have the most different line. You got it's just flow. And I think about children. Children is a wail for the soprano line. So it's children. Like it's like children. Like just go, girl, I don't know. Just say that. Say it. We're gonna try something awkward. Girl, I don't know.
Girl, I don't know.
Girl, I can't take it.
Girl, I can't take it.
Children.
Children.
Child.
Child.
That's it. That's what
Okay.
children is. Children. Okay? Everybody. So children. Ready, 2, 3, and I keep throwing it to you. It's cool. Let's go from the top.
I'm just gonna not pay attention. No, she did.
Right, because this hand is really for you.
Okay,
Sorry.
got it.
Okay. Do 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 do. Again, I know the tuning was like a little weird. Does it matter? The idea is getting the style right. We're gonna get it right because we're gonna go into the line. So let's try to get do 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 from the top. Ready, 2, 3. I get Thank you. Automatically change the entire color of the whole thing. I love it. Ready, 2, 3.
I've been buked and I've been scorned. Yes, I've been buked and I've been scorned. Children. I've been buked and I've been scorned.
That was. He's like, the rabbit was holding my hand up there and everything,
Is
and we
it-
all just.
Y'all got some extra batteries?
That's right.
Because I think my hand.
The Energizer Bunny.
Okay.
ran out of-
I think. I think it broke. Okay, we're back. Last stanza. In the strong, determined third verse, see that the vocal line is not interrupted after the word religion. Sustain the O instead of the N. So what he means by that in religion, so it's that the word would be religion. Ain't gwan lay my religion down, religion. So don't go to the into religion down. No. And that no is like, no. It's not as much of a no. Or maybe it will change. I may say, no, ain't. Or I may say, no, ain't. Who knows what's going to happen? Ain't going to lay my religion down. No, ain't going to lay my religion down, children. Ain't going to lay my religion down. Ain't going to lay my religion. And sometimes I have the bass go down, or maybe not. I don't know. But we're going to do it. But he says the third verse is strong, determined. That means that's the march. That's the protest. That's the resistance. I've acknowledged that I got things going on with me and my folk that also are in many ways attributed to the system that is oppressing me. Then I recognize and acknowledge that the world got a bunch of bull going on too. So it's not just me. We all dealing with some of the same stuff at different levels. And then by this last one, because I understand all of that, I got to keep fighting. So my purpose has to still be present. I'm not going to lay my religion, my focus, my beliefs, the core of who I am, I'm not going to let it go. Even if I die, it's so interesting. I was talking about it with a colleague last night. It was interesting that they have songs, like you have the song, Oh Freedom. And you have, oh freedom over me. And before I be a slave, I be buried in my grave and go home to my Lord and be free. But you were a slave. But you still didn't accept that's who you were. That's not laying the religion down. My body may be, but my mind ain't. And even when my mind seems like it is, because of mother, because of the internal source, I recognize, and I will come back to it in some way, shape, or form, that there's purpose beyond this. I'm not bound. I can rise above it. And if I can, then we can, and then we're all gonna go. That's why it's important that we say, I ain't gonna lay my religion down. Okay? Do, 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 do. Ain't gonna lay my religion. It's a march. Ain't gonna lay my religion down. Ain't gonna lay my religion down. Remember, say oh. Now don't go to ooh, because that's a diphthong. Good. Da 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 da. 1, 2, ready. And. That's not a march. Lay my lid. It's gotta hit on that each and every time.
How are you going to transition between those?
We'll see.
To give us a tempo.
We'll see.
We better. I'm kidding.
Ready, 2, 3, and.
Ain't gonna lay my religion down. No, ain't gonna lay my religion down. Children, ain't gonna lay my religion down. Ain't gonna lay my religion down.
I didn't say soft though. That was still out. I can't. No. Ain't.
Okay. It was subtle. It was subtle.
It's.
We're learning.
Yeah, it's good and subtle. Hey, da, 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 same thing. Ready, 2, good march though. So from the beginning.
Oh.
Hey, guale, my, hey, guale, hey, guale, hey, hey, guale. Ready, 2, 3.
Hey, guale, my legion down. No. Hey,
Yes.
guale, my legion down. Children. Hey, guale, my legion down.
Big.
Hey, guale, my legion down.
Some mission there. Hey, so, hey, guale, my legion. Hey, guale, my legion. Hey, guale, my legion. Then down. So let's do that last one. Hey, guale, my legion. Hey,
Last.
hey. Do the very last phrase.
Got it.
Ready, 2, 3, and.
Hey, guale, my legion down.
That's it. I may point to you, I may not.
I didn't know I'd have a solo. Wow.
Well, that's also the exciting thing about it, right? You might, I've done it. Samara's not here, but I've done it one time. We were singing something, and I was like, okay, da, 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 da. Go for high note. And she was like, oh, me, yes. I said, sing this, and she knew exactly what I wanted. Because it's intuitive.
It's okay.
It's often intuitive. So it may just be like, go.
Loud.
Okay, we're going. Right? That's the beauty of the music making. How did that third verse feel? It's going to be a lot.
It's good.
There are different moods. That's the march. There's the shifting. There's the fight. Let's do the whole thing.
I've been buked and I've been scorned. Yes, I've been buked and I've been scorned. Children.
Yes.
I've been buked and I've been scorned. I've been talked about, shows you mourn. There is trouble all over this world. Yes, there is trouble all over this world. Children, there is trouble all over this world. There is trouble all over this world.
Marching. And.
Hey, guale, my legion down. No. Hey, guale, my legion down. Children. Hey, guale, my legion down. Hey, guale, my legion
Good. Thank you, First U. Thank you, Jay, and First UU. Thank you, Naymam. Thank you, 353 Media. Thank you to you, wonderful assemblage of singers,
Thank you.
artists, and people. And UU Huntsville. Shout out to UU Huntsville. Thank you, ancestors. Thank you, divine spirit. Thank you, freedom fighters. Thank you, CT Vivian.
Yes.
Thank you, John Lewis.
Yes.
Thank you, Reverend Lowry.
John Lewis.
Thank you, Septima Clark. Thank you, Fannie Lou Hamer. Thank you, Ella Baker. Thank you, my great-grandparents who were sharecroppers, Ma Pearl and Daddy Fred Slocum. Thank you to my late pastor, Reverend Moses Herring and his wife, Lilybell Herring from Friendship. Thank you to, D.B. Todd, and thank you to Dr. Boyd, and all of these people. Thank you to Frederick Douglass, who spoke on this land. Thank you, Ella Shepherd Moore, and the original Jubilee Singers, because this music would not be here if it wasn't for them. Thank you, John W. Work. Thank you, Hall Johnson. Thank you, Mr. Burley, Henry Thacker Burley. Thank you, Florence Price. Thank you, Margaret Bonds. Thank you, Zenobia Powell Perry. Thank you, Ella Fitzgerald. Thank you, Aretha Franklin. Thank you, C.L. Franklin. Just thank you to all that's gathered in the moment, because all of it matters. Thank you, oh my goodness, Scott Joplin. Just thank you, Shirley Graham Du Bois. Thank you, W.E.B. Du Bois. Thank you, Booker T. Washington. All of this matters. Thank you, William Dawson. Thank you, Alvin Ailey. Thank you, goodness, the founder of Dance State of Harlem. I see your face. Arthur Mitchell. Ashe. Thank you, Arthur Mitchell. Thank you, just so many people. Thank all of you for this moment. Just taking a breath and release. Taking it again, breathe in and release. Remember that doubt does not live on this land. Fear doesn't live on this land. Fear is a natural response, but that is not absence of bravery. It is not absence of freedom. It is not absence of the wanting for something better. It's a good thing to feel all the emotions, to have the doubts, but not to allow the doubts to manifest, to stop you from doing what you need to do and have to do and what you're called to do. Thank you. Thank you, Ashe. Beauty, great. Peace and love, blessings.